Life is about sacrifice. You have to sacrifice who you are now for who you are going to be. And in order to step into greatness, in order to step into your highest potential, in order to step into your divinity, you need to be willing to sacrifice your ego, your identity at this present moment, your pain, your trauma, and you need to become somebody different, somebody healed. Healing is about stepping into who you really are. It's about cleansing yourself. So personally in my life, I didn't grow up with the ability to express myself. It was not a safe environment for me to express myself. So as an adult, I took it upon myself to heal my throat chakra, which is my ability to communicate and to heal other people. And I use my throat chakra to guide, to teach, to sing. But I have to use it every single day, because when we use the gifts that are given to us, they can go forth and blossom and multiply in the minds and hearts of other people. They can actually serve the world. So gifts are given to us to give away. Trauma and pain is given to us for us to transmute and become stronger from. Everything is a blessing from God. And when you understand that your only job is to sacrifice your ego, to surrender to God and to the present moment and to your journey, then you understand that a greater you lies ahead, a greater ego lies ahead, an ego that is integrated, an ego that is balanced, an ego that is healed. There is no way to abandon your ego completely in this life, but because we're tied to the body and we're tied to the physical 5 senses, 6 senses, including the mind that govern the body. So we are in our ego all the time. You cannot get rid of it. Even if you've had multiple ego deaths, it doesn't go away, but it changes. So you want to have the highest embodiment of your ego. This is what it is to step into your highest self, or to step into your fullest potential. You use your ego as a tool. You don't let it use you. You use it as a tool. It's a tool in your toolkit. And it's one of your main ones. It's actually your biggest tool. Because it is with the ego that we can carry out the desires of the soul and carry out the mission that we were born here to carry out. So ego is very important. Ego also allows for you to have an identity that you can become grounded in, because without ego there is no groundedness, right? So now if you are battling in some way with anything in your life, with pain, with trauma, with struggle, with heartbreak, heartache, you are not using your ego. It is using you, and you need to set it aside, surrender it, sacrifice it in order to tap into the soul. And then from the soul, you move upward and expand and create yourself outward, not from the ego, because then you're just capped. You're capped at a level of evolvement and self-understanding and intelligence if you are working from the outer layer of yourself, which is the ego. You want to work from the core outward, so the ego becomes kind of built by the core self, which is the soul, at your very roots. So if we understood the layers of the self, our existence would be a lot easier. So first you are the soul, then you have the subconscious mind, then you have the conscious mind, which is where the ego is stored. So the ego is kind of the last layer. That's why we can use the ego to manifest the body. Actually, the subconscious mind manifests the body, but we can use the ego to decorate the body and stuff like that, right? So ego is just like a tool that we use. Now, why am I talking about all this? Because there is no fighting yourself until you lose yourself. You have to lose yourself. Great artists, successful people, they were not born that way. They lost themselves in order to find and then recreate themselves. So genius, madness comes when we lose ourselves. So we have to go through that destruction process, that dissolution process of self, of the identity. So if something in your life is paining you, it only pains because you are separate from yourself. There's a split there. Because you, as soul, is pure positive energy. You are happy, joyful, childlike, creative. You being depressed is not that. So there's a dissonance, there's contrast. So you need to go back to the soul. This is what it is to go to God. This is what it is to come home to oneself. you know? And then in that process of deep healing, you forgive yourself, you forgive others, you move through your pain and your trauma, and you can bring it up to the surface to recognize it, to identify it, to heal it, and then release it. That is the process. And then in doing so, you can really become a whole new person with a whole new identity, or multiple different identities along the way. You can even integrate many, many sides of yourself and have multiple identities and use each one to carry out the mission of your soul. And you can walk knowing yourself. Sometimes this takes time. Personally, it took me years to get to a position in which I had a solid sense of self, and I was also able to understand my purpose, understand what I'm here to do, understand why I'm doing what I'm doing, understand my mission and my intention for myself and for others, understand what I needed to heal within myself, and how I can use my gifts to serve the world, all these kinds of things. So it takes time. The self-discovery process takes time, but it is the best investment you could ever make. And why I started this video with sacrifice is because you have to sacrifice. You have to sacrifice your comforts, because when you die to yourself, you become so uncomfortable. But it's much better than staying in the discomfort of stagnancy, which happens when we stay within depression or within trauma patterns or within PTSD, stuff like that. So when we can break our core foundation of self to go within the soul and say, you want to know what, God, I give all my pain to you. Let me know you. Let me understand you. I make you my mission. I make you my path. Well, then God gives you himself. He takes your life that you have surrendered unto him, and he makes it anew. And he gives you himself. So he gives you his everything, his protections, his blessings, his opulence, his talents, his skills, his abilities, everything. And so you remain surrendered, right? Like, no gift belongs to us, because any gift that has been given can also be taken. Everything belongs to him. So when you realize that everything is his, and that you are just here to remain in that surrendered state unto him, and then there you are free, because you're not responsible for your pain anymore. You surrender your pain unto God. And you're only responsible for walking his path and following his directions. He gives you the best karma, and you heal. You really heal on a soul level. So this has been my journey. This is my personal journey, and I'm here to share with you my journey so that you can better understand yourself and your journey. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed.